baby. Oh. I'm gonna be real for a moment and say that it's hard trying to build a YouTube channel with a sub-niche of travel. When my husband and I travel, I try to take as much footage of our experiences for the YouTube channel I'm trying to grow. I realized that a majority of my footage is of my husband Drew. The irony of it is he's not the one who runs the channel. So, while we were traveling in Scotland in September of 2024, I told him I would appreciate if he would reciprocate and take candid shots and videos of me doing fun things, especially while traveling. He said he would try. I once famously told Drew that Peru isn't on my travel bucket list because everyone goes to Machu Picchu. Yes, I am contrary that way. Which is how I felt at the start of this trip about seeing Highland cows, aka Hairy Coos, in Scotland. They're these golden furred cows with Viking-like horns and sheepdog bangs that mature grown-ups go bonkers over. Not me. Sure, they might be interesting, but I don't really care if we see them, I kept telling our guide Poppy with a toss of my head. Well, it was our last day in Scotland. We were heading out to England next, and we still hadn't seen coos. It was 7:30 in the evening, and we were already delayed checking into our lodging. But Poppy had one more treat for us. She drove us to the Taste of Perthshire in Bankfoot so we could see coos in a spacious pen behind the gift shop/restaurant. Poppy had brought carrots and waved one in the air so the coos would come up for us to get a closer look. One of the three coos looked up and appeared to consider the offer before lowering its head once again and grazing. No matter what sound we made, the coo was unmoved. To my surprise, I was bummed about it. To come all the way there with carrots even, and not be able to entice the cute thing with bangs, which Poppy said was actually called a fringe. Minutes later, a dozen tourists joined us, also with the intention of getting a closer shot of the coo, to no avail. As our party was about to leave, I looked at the sign on the coo's gate. It said, "Enter only with permission," which goaded me into seeing if I could get permission to go into the pen just to see if I could get a selfie with a coo. Which goes to show that hairy coos drive one into temporary insanity by virtue of their cuteness. I came up to the sandy-haired restaurant cashier and asked, "Who can give me permission to enter the coo pen?" "I can," he said, "but I won't." As I stared at him, uncomprehending, he said, "I won't give you permission. You can climb over the fence, but I won't tell you you can." I was still confused, but I think I was beginning to understand that due to liability, he couldn't really tell me to go for it. He told me that the coo whom I was trying to entice to come closer was 11-year-old Heather. I lamented, "I've tried bribing her with carrots." His comeback was, "Russell the Beg Hoarder." Skeptical, I went back to the pen, followed by Poppy. Drew was still in the store getting a Dr. Pepper. All the other tourists were gone, thankfully, so I wouldn't have any witnesses to another of my monumental coo-whispering failures. Heather was still standing in her original spot, peering at me through that maddeningly adorable fringe, as though 1,000 rustling bags of carrots would not make her budge. I held the bag over my head. "Yoo-hoo!" I said. "Rustle, rustle. Look what I have for you." Rustle, rustle. Heather chewed her cud once, twice, thrice, just like she did earlier. But this time, she began walking over. I got so giddy with excitement. By the time she reached me at the fence, I was all thumbs with my phone and mirrorless camera and got all sorts of uneven and mostly chaotic footage. Luckily, after Poppy texted Drew, it worked. She had the presence of mind to film me making baby talk, laughing, and trying to prevent Heather from gobbling the carrot and my hand in one swoop. Irony of ironies, but who should get a great photo with Heather? Why, Drew, of course, as he came out to join us after purchasing a Dr. Pepper from the store.